Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Wow, nice.
That's a mouthful there. It's directed by Kathy Yan.
Yeah, and this movie stars Margot Robbie, Ewan McGregor, Rosie Perez, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Journey Smollett-Bell. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We have heard good things about this movie.
Yeah, I think it started off at like a 90% or something.
Yeah, like,
I think it went down a little bit in the 80s, but it's still pretty high.
Yeah, and honestly, I really wasn't thinking this movie was going to be that good. Like, even when the first trailers came out, I think the first like trailer came out, people made fun of it because it looked like some kind of clothing commercial.
Yeah, the little teaser trailer that they did like early on in filming. Yeah. It really did look like a Hot Topic, like an H&M commercial.
Yeah, but even after that, the trailers didn't look that good to me. I was like, oh, a lot of people are talking good about it. So we're gonna see it anyways. But
and then obviously Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
it's kind of a spin-off of that.
Yeah, exactly.
That didn't really give us reassurance.
Yeah, and Suicide Squad is like one of our least favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, not just least favorite superhero movie, but least favorite movie in general.
Yeah, in general. And this movie, I will say, it was better than I thought it would be. It wasn't like bad. I just thought it was at most. It was like okay. It was like it's there. It's there. It's fine.
It was really weird because like as I was watching it, like there's several moments that I really liked, and like I was like, okay, I can get on board with this. Yeah. But then they were always followed by just something that I didn't like at all, and just like kind of canceled out everything that I really enjoyed about it.
Yeah, and a big thing about this is I think they made very interesting style choices. This is a big movie that did the style over substance kind of thing, where I feel like I was on board with the style choices they're making because it was really interesting. I thought it could have been a really fun movie with the style choices they're making. I just felt like they did it too much, and sometimes it just went way overboard. Yeah, and it just became distracting after a while.
Yeah, because like it kind of has the same style kind of as Suicide Squad. It obviously did a lot better than Suicide Squad, but it still wasn't that great. Like you said, they did it too much, and they kind of tried to have that Deadpool vibe. That the Deadpool movies have, but even then they didn't really do it that great. They did it okay, just not that great.
Yeah, and one thing I didn't like about this was there's a lot of narration by Harley Quinn. Yeah. And I don't think I would have minded it in this movie because it kind of would have fit it a little bit. But there was just something about the narration that just felt off. It seemed like there was a lot of times whenever her narration was just completely stuff we knew. Already, especially the very beginning, there was a narration with like a cartoon, and it was just like it was stuff we completely already knew if you already saw like Suicide Squad and stuff like that.
It wasn't told that well, but we still knew it from Suicide Squad.
Yeah, exactly. And also, one thing there was just one weird thing to point out here. I haven't seen anybody talk about this, but they had a drawing of the Joker in this, and it looked like the comic book Joker. It didn't look anything like Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Jared Leto's Joker, but it looked exactly like the comic book Joker.
Exactly.
Like, it's like they're kind of trying to completely forget about their Jared Leto's Joker.
Like you can't forget about them. It's still part of this universe. It still existed, But and it was just a lot of things about that, just the style choices. But like I said, I feel like I could have liked it if they would have done a little better, maybe a little bit less. This movie, because of the style choices and because of the fact that it was really trying to make you be in the head of Harley Quinn. Yeah. And kind of like, she has kind of a even though she is smart, she doesn't have a jumbled mind. Yeah. Because she is insane. This movie bounces around a lot and it becomes really messy at times.
Yeah. I did kind of enjoy what they were trying to do. And I did enjoy quite a bit of what they did. Yeah. But like you said, it does jump around because like it's her kind of narrating the whole story, the whole movie. Yeah. And so she jumps around back and forth because sometimes she'll forget to tell something and she'll jump into the flashback of what happened. So I kind of enjoyed that, but at times it did get really messy.
Yeah, like it fits her character, but if there's a certain way you could do it to make it better, like Deadpool. Deadpool did it one time, and it felt a little better than the way this was done. There's also a time in this movie whenever it's the very beginning, and a decent amount of time has passed, and she jumped into a flashback, and the flashback lasts so long.
It probably lasted at least like 15, 20 minutes.
And I completely forgot that we were actually in a flashback. And all of a sudden it brought us back to where we were. I was like, whoa. I was like, oh yeah. It was a lot of stuff like that. Nothing bad. Nothing, I never found anything in this movie to be like awful. Other than the actress who played the little...
Cassandra Cain.
Yeah, what's her name? Ella J. Basco.
Yeah.
And I will say that once again, Margot Robbie is pretty great. I loved her in Suicide Squad. She was one of the only good things I liked in Suicide Squad.
Yeah. And I would even say she's even better in this one. Than
She actually is a lot better in this. Like, honestly, watching this movie makes me realize how perfect of a choice she is.
Yeah, just that she's in such a bad movie.
Yeah,
I won't say this movie's bad, but she's not in as good of movies as she should be.
Yeah, exactly. I really hope that I really want them to reboot the DC universe. Unfortunately, they do have some good stuff like Shazam here lately. But like, I want them to reboot it and just keep her, and then keep Zachary Levi as Shazam, because
right.
I like, honestly, there's some just perfect choices,
Right.
Ewan McGregor is really good in this movie.
Yeah, he surprisingly did really well. I mean, I haven't seen that many movies that Ewan McGregor has been in, but I haven't really seen him in a role like this. And he did it really well, because like his character's kind of has like a cartoony side to him, and he has really like big personality. Yeah. And he pulled it off really well.
Yeah, and the cartoony aspect, I think Jeremy Johns said it does become a little too much to him at times. To me, I actually love the cartoony aspect.
Yeah, and one thing I really loved about this movie is the action scenes were really entertaining, which I think I read somewhere a month or two ago that the people who did the John Wick fight scenes were the same people who did the fight scenes for this movie. Yeah. And it really shows, because they're really great at choreography.
Yeah, it was.
These fight scenes and making them really enjoyable, and not really doing too many cuts.
Yeah,
you're able to see everything, and just everything's really fun to watch.
And so there are some things to love, but overall, I just found this movie to be just right at okay. Because overall, I just felt like it was kind of a mess. A lot of things were just jumbled here and there. The movie never felt. DC has this really strange feel to every single one of the movies that I really don't like, except for like I say, like Shazam and Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and a huge thing that I feel like DC has a problem with is rushing into things. And I feel like this movie would have been a lot more impactful with the whole emancipation thing. I mean, it's even in the title, the emancipation of Harley Quinn. It would have been so much more impactful if they would have built up the toxic relationship between the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Because all we got in Suicide Squad was really lovey-dovey with each other.
Yeah.
We didn't really get the whole like abusive side of the relationship that the Joker does to Harley Quinn. So this movie didn't have as big of an impact of her like freeing herself from that toxic relationship.
Yeah. Also, there's one thing, and I understand it's comic books, so it's like, whoa, you should already know this, but like, there's a character who has a superpower that you don't see at all until the end of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you know.
They kind of hint towards it.
But they never really show it that much at all.
It's just like all of a sudden.
You're watching like, whoa, where'd that come from?
they barely built up to it at all. Yeah. It's just like used like as an ex machina kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, or was it do ex machina?
Yeah, something like that.
It's just like get out of a certain situation.
Yeah, because you're watching it, you're like, man. Well, first of all, before that, they got into a situation that could have been easily avoided if they would have just thought about it.
Right.
Because they kind of just like
they kind of nonchalant.
They do a lot of stuff, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, I guess it's done, and like they get themselves into some situation.
Even though it's about to be the most important part.
Yeah, and then this character uses this superpower, and it's just out of nowhere, which like, it's her power. It's in the comics or whatever.
Yeah.
Although I don't really know anything about these characters.
Right.
But like, at least build up to it, at least so we know like where this is coming from.
Yeah.
It's not just randomly like.
And there were a lot of jokes that really just didn't land at all. Like there was a voted for Bernie joke that I'm not really for or against them, but it just felt really out of place.
And one thing I was kind of expecting, and I'm not mad at it, and I was gonna be fine with it, is that like obviously this is all female cast, and this is a comic book movie, and so I knew it was kind of going to be a kind of a girl power kind of movie,
right?
Which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. But it does come to a certain point where you're like, man, is there any good men in this movie? Like, do good men exist anymore?
Like everybody was like completely awful.
Like every man in this movie. Like I said, I'm not like mad at it or anything. Yeah. Like I know there's many people like mad at it, and it didn't like ruin it or anything, But it's like it got to the point where like every guy, even some of the people who were good, were bad.
Like there's a certain character, which I won't say who it is, but he's introduced as a really good guy.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I knew he was going to turn on Harley Quinn in the group because he's a man.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, you can't have good men in this movie. So it kind of made things predictable at certain times.
It's not a huge issue. It's just the fact that could have been replaced with more kind of interesting storytelling. Because whenever you have a villain or whenever you have a bad guy or a good guy, you do want them to be interesting characters. But whenever you have everybody just being like every man being like this sleazeball, it makes things in the movie a little less interesting than they could be.
Yeah, and because the thing is, like, I wouldn't even minded Black Mask being exactly how he was.
Yeah.
Just being how terrible he was.
Yeah.
Just how he was in the movie. If everybody else, every other guy wasn't like that too.
Yeah. Well, overall, guys, this movie, I don't know if I like really recommend it, but I'd say if you were going to go see it in the first place, go ahead and go see it. If you didn't want to see it, you probably won't like it. You know, it's a movie that I can really understand either way if you like it or hate it or whatever. And Margot Robbie does fantastic. All the acting is pretty great in this movie, you know, other than the little girl.
And the guy who played Victor Zsasz. But yeah, it's definitely a movie that's really enjoyable. That's one of the biggest things that I liked about it, is that it was really enjoyable. If you don't really think about a lot of the things that they're doing specifically, then it's really enjoyable to watch. The action scenes are fun.
We are gonna say that oh my goodness, the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
One Harley Quinn.
Of the Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Okay. We are gonna say that Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn, man, that's a name, is 60% awesome. Well, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, comment and let us know what you thought about Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. Let us know what you thought about it.
Yeah, because you can't just say Birds of Prey. You got to say the whole thing.
Yeah, and in the comment section, if you just say, I like Birds of Prey, I'm not going to know what you're talking about. You have to say Birds of Prey.
You think you're going to be they're talking about the series from like 2002?
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe we're just thinking you're talking about actual birds of prey in nature.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have to say it. You have to say it, all the way. Also, we'll put a link in the description below. Maybe a little. I don't like the little link and stuff up here. We are doing a really fun list of our top 100 movies of the decade. We already have one video up from our 100 through 91 up. If you want to watch that as well.
And don't forget to follow us on social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at 2 Awesome Men.
And as always, thank you so much for watching, and you will see us later.